never take a loss on my install. Too late, you already there. Imagine when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese, you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm on the it's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now, no reason to doubt. It's clear to see, all eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hated and love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. It's the glamour life, you still not a player. You ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice and super duper fly. Juicy, keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping. See you at the crossroads.
Money over on my install. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on my install. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my install. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the install. Too late, you already there. It was written in the children's story. Your life's up, so what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could jump me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money. Quiet storm, have it stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the green. I'm a player on the late night tips. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog. Check the skull, ignorant. Can I live? Still film it, kiss to death, friend, protect your neck. Three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger, kiss to death, friend, protect your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger. Money over on my install. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on my install. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my install. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the install. Too late, you already there. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome since 96. You a shook one, Reeves and all the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell. Let me count my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for money, strictly for money. Survival of the fittest. That's the sound of the police. I'm in deep cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right there's on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? They're warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. 2 words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Detroit Lions. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, Johnson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Call it a gain of 5. And it'll be 3rd down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Big conversion. They were backed up deep to start the drive, able to pick up the first.
So the goal is at least a first down here, right? Pick up a first down, give yourself some breathing room, and if you have to punt after that, maybe you've helped with field position and you've helped out your defense.
And avoided a 3-and-out on their opening drive.
Leopard. All right, here we go. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he slings one that's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Watch it now, Barney. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney.
Right back to him on first down. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go! Over! Gun!
He'll drop to throw. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught at the 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
Barney. Leopard. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. So now a 3rd and 7, and defensively it's a dime look. 6 DBs.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Detroit.
He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Gone. Hot.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Muscles him off. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll drop to throw. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Over.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play.
No. Check. Patriot. Leopard. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Going left side here, and it's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. On play action, they'll throw. They'll roll him out right. Touchdown, Packers! O.J. Howard, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now.
Watch him now, Barney.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
We got 4 down.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll throw now on the final play. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. And we will skip the highlight show this week, get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got 0 benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They give him a gain of 37. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Go!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Watch it now, Barney. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13.
Gone. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
3-19. Over.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. McKinnon here, it's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So that throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
No.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard in the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Check 42 to Mike. Check 42. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas. All day. Woo! Let's get it.
The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They're going to look to throw. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Now the Packers get set to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now a play fake here on first down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. And they'll run it here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Kidder here is complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left, and then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. They'll set up a throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll set up to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Kevin King with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
Gun! Over!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Going deep for Hopkins. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Packers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is third down and 12. Back to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, He might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. The busy night continues for Johnson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he goes out right around the 39. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot! Detroit! Detroit!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. The Lions on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for our visitors, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season.